Hi Spike fam, we're back for another Spike breakdown where we take your situations with businesses to see what is going on, what went wrong, what went right, and how things can be improved. So this week we have a situation that was submitted about an exchange that happened with Westtech Shipping Company. This situation is a little bit more involved than the last one we posted, so I'm going to try my best to explain it to you. Alright, so what's happening in this situation is that the customer has 3 different packages that needs to be shipped. All 3 are going to be sent to Westtech and all 3 needs to arrive at the same location. Westtech offers consolidation services. It's on their website, and we also found more details about the consolidation offer on their Facebook page. The extent of the details received depends on the platform you are on. So they offer consolidation packages, and the customer wanted to use that so that they could receive everything at one time as opposed to 3 different times. So let's break down the situation so that you and I can be on the same page. So on June 15th, the customer sends an email to make mention that there are 2 packages at the warehouse already and there is 1 to come. The customer expresses that they don't have the tracking number for the 3rd item yet, but submits the 2 that they have and says they want everything to be consolidated. On that same day, Westtech responds to say that they cannot do the consolidation if they don't receive all 3 tracking numbers at the same time, and it has to be received at least 24 hours prior to reaching the warehouse. Now it is at this point that the guidelines of the consolidation offering are attached. It's not on the website. Westtech also explains that they await more details from the customer. The customer points out that 2 packages are already at the warehouse and gives the screenshots of the tracking number, etc., and points out that they will submit the 3rd one once the tracking number is generated. Now from the screenshots we can see that it is an Amazon Prime order, so therefore these normally take about 2 days, and therefore it would meet the 1-day requirement. Here is where things start to get a little bit more tricky. At this point, Westtech sends an email to the customer expressing the emotions or thoughts and instructions from the warehouse manager. They even use a bold feature, and the email is really expressing the frustrations of the manager. Email contains a description of the issues among staff, that they are getting confused, and also in this email the customer is told that they have already consolidated 2 packages and cannot add the 3rd. So please remember that in the prior email, the customer was told that they won't be doing any consolidation and they're waiting for the 3rd item to come. So this now is a change of information that is being sent to the customer, denying what they want while the company has gone ahead to do something that the customer was not made aware of. On June 16, the customer goes ahead to email them with all 3 tracking numbers according to one of the emails that was sent to them, and lets them know that all 3 are now at the warehouse and they would like all 3 to be consolidated. And the 17th, 1 day later, Westtech responds to let the customer know that they can't do the consolidation because the tracking numbers were not provided. So you see where this is not connecting, right? So a lot of things are happening here. We did a little digging just to see, what the general consensus is, to see if this is a one-off or if there are problems that are happening there. So what we realized is that they do have good reviews and they do have bad reviews. However, we are seeing where it seems that there has been a fall off in the customer experience over time. They started off really well, everybody was really excited, but now even some of the reviews indicate that they will never use their services again and that things have really changed, etc. And we got that from the feedback that is there on Facebook. We also observed that there are no responses to the reviews, so it doesn't seem like Westtech is really paying attention in that arena, or if they are, perhaps they are communicating with the disgruntled persons offline. But in a situation like this, we always suggest that you respond to your customers in the forum that the complaint is expressed, so persons can see that you actually care about what is there or what you are actually doing to rectify the situation. So we would suggest that, because at present there are no responses to the reviews that are there. It just leaves a negative experience there with nothing to counter. Another point is that the language of the email is really negative. You should always try to let the customer know what you can do, not what you cannot do. Always try to provide the avenues that you can work within. What can you offer, instead of beating in a negative into their brain that's going to leave a negative emotion with them, and that's not what you want to happen. No, there are 4 things that we want to point out outside of that. The first one is the process. There is something going on with the process that they're using. If it is that the employees are being confused, etc., something is wrong with the communication, something is wrong with the process. So that needs to be looked into to ensure that they're able to actually offer this consolidation service that they are touting in an effective and efficient way. Put all the information up front and ensure that you will have systems in place to meet the needs of your customers in this regard. The next thing we would suggest is some training. Perhaps the process is not broken, but perhaps persons are not aware or fully aware of what the process is and how their step impacts the overall service experience. So perhaps there is some training that's needed, and if it is that the process is broken, then training is definitely needed from the top to the bottom, so everyone becomes fully aware of what's happening now and your impact on the overall process and the overall end results for the customers. Third, we definitely suggest that there be some training, some guidelines, something about proper tone and language, both in person and over email. And based on the reviews, even though it's not in this particular situation, we would suggest some training in regard to the phone etiquette. How do you speak to your customers? General tone and language that would be acceptable. Now here at Spike, we don't believe in scripts, because that takes out the humanity from it, and also it kind of stunts a lot of employees. So instead of thinking, they just revert to exactly what's on the script and not really paying attention to what the customer is saying. So we do not suggest scripts. However, we do suggest that you have guidelines, so people get an overall sense of what it is you're trying to do, what are the frameworks we need to work within, what is the culture of this place, and know how to communicate with the customers accordingly. And that is why they would need to be very familiar with the processes that are in place, so they know how to maneuver themselves no matter what the situation is. And fourth, in this situation, our tool CX Unlocked would provide some quick wins, because it is an easy way to get everyone up to speed at a good starting point. So we are all starting from this foundation and we grow from there. The good thing is that no matter who starts with the business or when they start, these things are always available. So you can ensure that everyone has the same foundation from which to build upon. So these are our suggestions for Westech. We hope you take advantage of them. Get in touch with us if you need our help to do any of these things. We are willing and available. Continue to submit your situation so we can do a Spike breakdown for you. And we really look forward to working with a lot of these companies to help them to get from their current state to their ideal state and have winning, happy customers. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you for being with us.